Okay, if everybody's ready, we'll go ahead and call our regular meeting to order. Ms. Sheldon, will you please call the roll for us?
Mayor Holly Berry,
Here.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton.
Here.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey.
Here.
Commissioner Pete Phillips.
Present.
Commissioner Hayes Wilkinson.
I'm here.
All right, today for our invocation, if you would all please join me in a moment of silence to reverently collect our thoughts, pray, and ready ourselves for this meeting and the duties to which we have been called. Thank you. Mr. Brennan, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first item of business is approving the minutes for our April 4th, 2023 work session. Any corrections? If not, do I have a motion to approve as written? We have a motion from Commissioner Wilkinson. Do I hear a second?
I'll say.
We have a second from Commissioner Phillips. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the minutes for our April 4th, 2023 commission meeting. Any corrections?
I have a small one. There's a letter missing at the moment. In number 3 for invocation.
Ms. Sheldon, you got that? Excellent. Any other corrections? Do I have a motion to approve as amended? We have a motion from Commissioner Wilkinson. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is my mayor's report. I was happy last week to attend a fundraising event for the McKinney Animal Center, along with Vice Mayor Dalton and many of our wonderful city staff. We are happy to have them as our nonprofit partners and grateful for the work that they do in our community. And the next Red Bank Community Food Pantry will be Thursday, April 20th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. Now we have our report from Vice Mayor Dalton.
Thank you. The next Red Bank Lions Club meeting is Thursday, April 27th at 6:30 p.m. The City of Red Bank's Earth Day cleanup is this Saturday, April 22nd from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. We will be meeting again at Dayton Plaza near the Decaffeinated drive-thru. Thank you to our partners, Green Steps and Decaffeinated, who will be assisting the city with supplies, snacks, and beverages for our volunteers. Please sign up ahead of time to choose a designated cleanup area using the Sign Up Genius link that has just been shared to the City of Red Bank's Facebook page. Unify Ed is hosting a community listening tour event from 5:30 to 7 p.m. on April 26th at the Red Bank Community Center. They want to hear from us about what matters to us at our schools so they know how best to advocate alongside us for our children and our educators. Food will be provided. Please RSVP at unify-ed.org/events. Alpine Crest is hosting Forest Kindergarten Interest Sessions this Thursday, April 20th at 8:30 a.m. and at 5 o'clock p.m. Congratulations to Red Bank Elementary on the recently announced expansion of their forest program. Thanks to support from the Benwood Foundation and other community partners, Red Bank Elementary will be able to offer the forest program for second graders as well. There will be an informational meeting tomorrow, April 19th at 5:30 p.m. in the gym for any interested families with rising kindergarten, first, or second graders. Congratulations to Dr. E at Red Bank Middle School, who was recently awarded a BVI, TVA, EPB STEM grant for $3,500. I want to talk about a couple of bills that are happening, that are being discussed at the state level that would impact our community. Held on the desk yesterday, which means it could be voted on next year or it could be voted on tomorrow, April the 19th, is House Bill 1202. As introduced, authorizes a faculty or staff member of a school to carry a concealed handgun on school grounds subject to certain conditions including obtaining an enhanced handgun carry permit and completing annual training. If, like me, you have serious concerns about bringing more guns into our schools and classrooms, you can reach out to your legislators and let them know what you think about House Bill 1202. Likely to be debated in the House tomorrow, April 19th, is House Bill 0433, which is colloquially known as the school voucher bill. That would expand vouchers to Hamilton and Knox counties. 4 Hamilton County representatives, including our Senate and House representatives, are sponsoring or co-sponsoring this legislation, though neither myself nor anyone I've talked to has said they have asked our legislators to sponsor a bill that redirects tax dollars intended for public schools to a voucher program that places them in the hands of private schools. If you have thoughts about HB 0433, you can write and call your legislators today and let them know. And finally, I am going to read sections of a letter sent this week to Governor Lee and all members of the Tennessee legislature from F. Brent Leatherwood, President of the Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission of the Southern Baptist Convention. My view of the respective roles you hold is informed by my Christian faith, which springs forth from this foundation. Every life without exception is created with infinite worth in the eyes of our Lord because each one of us is made in his image. Genesis 1:26 through 27. Further, Jesus instructs us to love your neighbor as yourself, Matthew 22:39. A command so sweeping it reorients everything about our lives. Christians believe that holding the office of an elected official is an important calling that is not to be taken lightly. There are any number of potential policies that could be offered to prevent the atrocities that occurred at Covenant from happening elsewhere in our state. I would like to highlight one in particular, the proposal articulated by Governor Bill Lee. It would strengthen our state's borders of protection to guard the broader population from those who are a danger to themselves or others. Other voices are saying there is too little time left in this legislative session to consider such a proposal. Little credence should be given to that. As stated above, one of government's purposes is the protection of our essential liberties, especially the right to life. Now is the time to act. Safeguarding the lives of Tennesseans is worth the small effort required to extend the legislative work period and reopen committees if necessary. Last year, Southern Baptists overwhelmingly passed a resolution that in part states the following. We earnestly pray for our local, state, and federal leaders to recognize the seriousness of the ongoing threat of mass shootings through our society and to take concrete steps toward solutions that uphold the dignity and value of every human life, especially the most vulnerable among us, and to minimize the threat of gun violence throughout our society. That is my prayer for you, our legislative leaders. I beg of you to put down the weapons of partisan warfare in this moment and instead put on the cloak of serious and thoughtful policymaking that will make a real difference for parents, the public, and those suffering from mental distress. The Covenant School tragedy was the worst school shooting in our state's history. I'm asking that you take steps now to ensure no school in Tennessee ever has to endure our nightmare again. I echo Mr. Leatherwood's prayer. Thank you.
Next, we have our report from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey.
Sure. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Jubilee is nearing. Commissioner Phillips and I have been on that committee as well as some others who have visited. It's in 2 weeks, as our friends mentioned earlier, from 11 to 4. Mountain Cove will be playing from 2 to 4. And Listen and Learn was last evening at Mr. Burrito's. We had concerns mentioned and updates. Brush pickup and speeding, which is a common occurrence in Red Bank. So we'll continue talking about those issues. The next one will be June 19th from 6 to 7. I will not have a May meeting. I plan to tour McCamey Animal Shelter on Access Road next Monday. I think 5:30. They have designated tours, so you're welcome to join me if you haven't been over there. This will be my first. I'm not that familiar with it, but I'm excited to go and see what it's about. Thank you.
Pet some kittens for me.
The what?
So pet some kittens for me.
I will.
Next, we have our report from Commissioner Phillips.
Thanks for everybody for coming. Of course, as Commissioner Hardy said, Jubilee's coming up in 2 weeks. One of my big things is trying to make sure that we have a good party, and it takes money to have a good party. So if anybody can let go of some dollars to support our event, I'd appreciate it very much. Also, the plan that we had our meeting this month, and for the general master plan, we've identified all the elements. I think we got a good team together, waiting on the rest of the staff to get in place. and look forward to that. But everything's moving along. We have a time frame, and hopefully we'll be reporting that soon. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
And finally, we have our report from Commissioner Wilkinson.
Evening, everyone. I'll start with the Earth Day cleanup, as the Vice Mayor mentioned. Hope to see you all there Saturday morning. 22nd. The Champion Virginia Pine ceremony will be held Friday, April 28th at 12:30 p.m. at the old middle school property, 3715 Dayton Boulevard. Come and celebrate the tallest Virginia pine tree in the state of Tennessee.
And possibly the nation.
Oh,
Possibly.
that would be pretty cool if it was. The Red Bank Jubilee is happening May 6th. There is a pickleball tournament. So I know we have a lot of pickleball aficionados who like to attend these meetings, so I'm sure they'll be there. It's free to play. Donations are accepted for Arizona's Army. I want to give a shout out to two young men who, Liam and Zane, who took a walk down Dayton Boulevard. They had a bored afternoon, and on their way back home, they had stopped at Food City or Walgreens, asked for some gloves and plastic bags, and picked up a bunch of trash on their way home. So they got to jump on us. And lastly, yesterday I was able to attend with Leslie Johnson a UTC design class final project presentation in conjunction with the Trust for Public Land about signage for the White Oak Connector Trail and White Oak Park, signage and maps. This was a semester-long project for these students, and I thought they did a really wonderful job. I attended a similar class feedback meeting a couple weeks ago, and the feedback that they had received and then improved upon was really striking. So the Trust for Public Land will work with the city and hopefully implement some of these design elements across the city in the near future. So it was a cool conversation. I was glad to be a part of it.
All right. And next we have our report from our city manager, Mr. Martin Graham.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. The Planning Commission regular meeting scheduled for Thursday, 20 April is canceled due to lack of a quorum. The business of the Planning Commission will resume next month as regularly scheduled. The Cemetery Citizen Advisory Board is planning a work party at Red Bank Cemetery the morning on Saturday, 29 April. Watch our Facebook page for additional details. Lastly, our new park manager has accepted our offer and will start late next month. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. That's exciting news. Next up, we have a beer board hearing. Is Ms. Jelsett with us today? Thank you for joining us. So we will temporarily adjourn our regular meeting, and we'll call our beer board meeting to order. Ms. Sheldon, will you call the roll for us?
Mayor Holly Berry.
Here.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton.
Here.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey.
Here.
Commissioner Pete Phillips.
Here.
Commissioner Hayes Wilkinson.
All right. Ms. Jelsett, please feel free to come on up. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Do we need any formal language here?
No, ma'am, but I'll take the opportunity just to thank Dawn. She's a friend of mine. She's a very active leader in the Rotary, Breakfast Chattanooga Rotary, which meets here in Red Bank and does a wide variety of civic activities around Chattanooga. An example of their work in Red Bank is they sponsor a scholarship for Red Bank high school students every year. So the Rotary's doing good work in Red Bank, and we appreciate their partnership in the Jubilee. They ran the beer booth at the Christmas parade very successfully. As city manager, it's new turf for us to sell beer, and so we look for a trusted partner. And the Rotary Club is just that. They understand the vigilance for very intoxicated persons. They understand the vigilance for underage sales. They come with a fair price, and they invest those proceeds that they make back into the community. And they're just a great partner to the city. So I really appreciate Dawn. They know what they're doing in this space, and they come in, set up quickly, run a great tight operation, do mobilize completely, and we're all better for it. So by any more introduction, Dawn, over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yes,
very much.
as Mr. Graham said, we are a very happy partner for Red Bank in a variety of ways. We support all the schools, elementary, middle, and high school through the Chattanooga Green Prix program. We purchase cars for them. We do all the concessions and give those proceeds back to buy more parts. We also have a leadership program now at Red Bank High. It's actually official now. They're an Interact club, and soon they'll be going on a leadership retreat. And so, yes, we use all the proceeds from the beer sales to help supplement these projects that we do in the community. As he said, we are very familiar with running beer events and know the seriousness of doing them. And so we hire an off-duty police officer to check the IDs of everyone. They know what to look for fake IDs. And then they're provided a wristband as well. If they get up to the beer tent and we even have more questions, we'll ask them again for their license. And so we do double checks on people. We have a lot of signage that goes around all the parks, making sure that people know that they can't just wander down the road with their beverage, and it is going to be confined to the park area. Again, just like the Christmas parade was. And yeah, that's perfect.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ms. Joseph. Any questions?
Is the off-duty policeman hired by your organization?
Yes, yeah, we pay that person to come and work the entire event with
Okay.
us.
11 to 4.
Do we know what kind of beer we're going?
So we will have some domestic beer, but also we're looking to partner again with Monkey Town. And so we know that they're a fan favorite here in Red Bank, and so supporting a local business, and so most likely we'll have Monkey Town beer too.
Excellent. Mr. Stolz, do we need anything about red?
We don't.
understand?
In the recently revised beer ordinance, there were particular provisions made to streamline this process. So, as the city manager said, a good partner and well vetted and well known and understood. So there's nothing we need to do formally. Just obey the beer ordinance.
Well, excellent to see it in action. And refresh my memory, it's been a few months since we had a beer board hearing. Do we have a simple vote?
Yes.
Okay, so do I hear a motion to approve?
I move.
We have a motion from Commissioner Phillips. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Vice Mayor Dalton. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Ms.
Thank you.
Joseph. Thank you. We look forward to the Jubilee.
No, it's gonna be sorry.
I do think there may even be Red Bank swag beverage cups to be had at the Jubilee, so I hear. All right, we will go ahead and adjourn our beer board hearing now and reconvene our regular meeting. And we have we have unfinished business. The first is ordinance number 23-1231, an ordinance of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, to amend the fiscal year 2023 operating budget beginning July 1st, 2022 and ending June 30th, 2023, in order to appropriate unbudgeted expenditures, insurance recoveries, and grant funding in the amount of $880,987.35, second and final reading. Mr. Alexander, you want to give us I know we talked about it last time, a little overhead view for.
Sure. These are some of the newer grants that have come into the city this fiscal year. And you've got a couple of loans. The fire truck out there is purchased with one. And then, let's see, I think we've got insurance recovery to repair a fire truck vehicle. So that is.
Thank you very much. Do I hear a motion to approve? We have a motion from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion? Any comments from the residents present? If there's no more discussion, then Ms. Sheldon, will you please call the roll for us? Call the vote.
Mayor Holly Berry,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton,
Yes.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey,
Yes.
Commissioner Pete Phillips,
Yes.
Commissioner Hayes Wilkinson.
Yes.
All right, motion carries on second and final reading. Next, we have ordinance 23-1232, an ordinance of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, to repeal ordinance 23-1234 in order to effectuate certain technical and alphanumeric corrections in the structure of said ordinance. Second and final reading. Mr. Graham.
Thank you, Mayor. This is in fact revisiting the chicken ordinance. There's no change in content. It's just reformatting some errors that were baked into the original one. Thank you, ma'am.
Excellent. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll say.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion? Any comments from the residents present? If there's no more discussion, then Sheldon, will you call the vote for us?
Mayor Holly Berry,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton,
Yes.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey,
Yes.
Commissioner Pete Phillips,
Yes.
Commissioner Hayes Wilkinson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have ordinance 23-1233, an ordinance of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, amending the purchasing policy and procedures, ordinance number 14-1014, codified at Appendix C of the Red Bank Municipal Code, second and final reading. Ms. Johnson.
Thank you very much.
Thank
As we discussed last, this is to address our procurement thresholds. This ordinance raises that threshold bottom from $750 transactions up to the $2,500. It will just help with efficient operations for all departments within Red Bank.
And to cover for inflation, as this threshold has not been updated in a number of years.
A multitude of years, yes. A perfect example is a set of tires. Well over that $750, but the time consuming to try to obtain 3 quotes really bogs down our operation systems.
Thank you very much. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a second from Commissioner Phillips. Any further discussion? Any comments from the residents present? If there's no more discussion, Ms. Sheldon, will you call the vote for us?
Mayor Holly Berry,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stephanie Dalton,
Yes.
Commissioner Jamie Fairbanks Harvey,
Yes.
Commissioner Pete Phillips,
Yes.
Commissioner Hayes Wilkinson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to new business, we have resolution number 23-1567, a resolution by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Red Bank, Tennessee, to proclaim May 8 through 12, 2023 as Teacher Appreciation Week. Now, as I recall, this is something that we did 1 year ago at the same time, and this has been added to an annual schedule of appreciation weeks, including Public Works Appreciation Week and Fire Awareness Week and other schedules. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Any further discussion?
Just to say that we love and appreciate anybody who gets into the teaching profession, and, devotes their life to nurturing children and helping them grow and learn and protect them. And they're just amazing and underappreciated and underpaid.
And I'm glad to be a teacher.
Thank you
I
to
was
our
gonna
own
say-
teacher.
I was gonna ask if we have any teachers or retired teachers with us tonight.
Thank you.
What's your name now?
Janet Reed.
Janet Reeve and Commissioner Fairbanks Harvey. Thank you for. All right. Is there any comments from the residents present? All right, if there are no more comments, let's go ahead and call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have resolution number 23-1568, a resolution authorizing the City of Red Bank to participate in the 2023-2024 Tennessee Highway Safety Office Traffic Safety Grant Program in the amount of $74,000. Hello, welcome. We were not able to, or we did talk about this in the works.
Yes, it did.
Welcome back.
The reoccurring grant that the Tennessee Highway Safety Office offers every year for agencies to apply for. We use this grant to help fund salaries and education for education and enforcement of traffic-related issues such as distracted driving and driving under the influence. So that's what this application for this grant will be for.
Thank you very much, Chief.
100% non-matching, so it's reimbursable 100%.
Excellent. Any questions for the chief? All right. In that case, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dalton. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
We have a second from Commissioner Wilkinson. Any further discussion? Brief note, Summer, Ms. Sheldon, safety, for the sake of next meeting's minutes, we need a Y at the end of safety office.
Tennessee also is missing this.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you.
So we'll have that already updated for next meeting's minutes. Any comments from the residents present? Okay, if there's no further discussion, let's go ahead and call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. It was a short agenda today. We have reached the time for citizen comments for items not on the agenda. Mr. Branham?
Thank you, Mayor. This is the time for citizen comments for items not on the agenda. Please observe these rules for citizen comments. Citizen comments are limited to 3 minutes or less, and the city recorder will operate the timer visible on the far wall. Please respect her direction and conclude any comments if time expires. All citizen comments should be addressed to the board as a whole and not to a particular commissioner, the city staff, or the audience. If members of the public have factual questions, staff will be glad to address them after the meeting or at another time. The purpose of citizen comment as an agenda item is to enable citizens to share their views with the entire board, not to initiate a back and forth or engage in conversation. At this time, citizens are invited to the podium to comment. Please begin by stating your name and address.
All right. Do we have any comments today for items not on the agenda? Okay. If there are no comments, then do I hear a motion to adjourn? Motion from Commissioner Phillips. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second from Vice Mayor Dalton. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming tonight. And then please admire our beautiful fire truck on the way out. Oh, we already left. Well, you'll see it.
I'll go and see it. Let's go.
Thank you.